I hope you don't mind the puppies joining us in the bed. We'll see how long that lasts, because today we're going to talk about accountability. In this video, I'm going to unpack why creative minds and talents need specialized accountability, and how finding the right approach can take you from struggling to thriving. The problem with traditional types of accountability is it's too aligned with all that corporate jargon and mumbo jumbo around efficiency and scalability, around metrics, and things that, if you've worked in that world, you just hear day in, day out, and they're thrown around like buzzwords. And do they actually mean anything? They end up on our quarter reviews, they're built into our progression plans, all that kind of crap. And none of that has any space when it comes to helping yourself as a creative and helping yourself grow and be kind of creating an incubator for you to be able to thrive, for your skills to grow. It's like, rather than having like that corporate manager that you hate to sit down and do your quarterly or annual review with, knowing that they're going to be like picking through every little tiny detail and you're just yawning and so bored. It doesn't fire you up in a way that you're excited to go and do the work, as opposed to when a new project starts and the infinite possibilities open up and there's something to go after and pursue, whether that's at work or creatively. I'm going to unpack 7 ways in which creativity is different. And in each of these, I'm going to take a kind of headline of a type of accountability and give you a really specific example of how one type of creative might struggle with that, when just do it does more harm than good. So think of a visual artist. She's sat in her studio and she just feels obliged to do the work. The inspiration hasn't come, it's not flowing, and she's just staring at a blank canvas, getting all sorts of frustrated. Why counting words or hours doesn't capture that deep creative process. Think about a musician who spends hours like combing through their record library, listening to new music, deepening their understanding of what lights them up, what sort of sound and kind of direction that they want to take. That's not accounted for. When inspiration strikes, you've got to work with your creative rhythm and not against it. So think about a composer who's had the day off, kind of working around the house, walking the dogs, but then at 3 a.m. they wake up with a fully formed melody for the project that they're working towards. And they get out of bed and hum it into a tape recorder or go and record it quickly and simply on the piano in their studio. Breaking the cycle. How missed deadlines can cause creative paralysis. So you're a writer and you've missed your word count day after day, and eventually you stop opening up your manuscript and days turn into weeks and you're starting to feel like you've got that writer's block. Crafting safe spaces. Why fear of judgment often kills your best ideas. Think about a photographer who's continually gotten likes and comments on their photographs from social media. Now they're afraid to try something different or something new or go in a direction that they really want to pursue themselves. When external praise extinguishes your inner fire. So maybe it's an illustrator who keeps losing interest in projects because their main motivator is that external validation. I have fallen foul on this so many times when I've gotten a song to a place where I thought, oh, that's kind of good, and then I start playing it to people and I've got no more energy or drive to go back to it because I'm like, oh, I've already played it to people, they like it, it's good. There's no focus and energy to get me over the line to the end to finish it. How perfection is the enemy and how traditional accountability can feed your inner critic. So think about an artist in their studio obsessing over the tiniest detail. Or if I put my hand up, I spend time tweaking or working on a bass or snare drum for hours, or get into the tiniest little pixel peeping in my photography. You all know what I'm talking about, right? What does effective creative accountability look like? It looks like flexible frameworks that adapt to your creative rhythms and help you maintain momentum. It needs to be individual and customized and focused on who you are as a person, who you are as an artist, and how you develop and how we get you through your personal blocks. It's compassionate, caring problem solving that helps you work through your stuff and get you to a place where you're thriving and growing as an artist. It's a protected space for experimentation and there's no judgment during the developmental stages. And a recognition that the process is along a spectrum and it's all over the place sometimes. And celebrating those small victories in your creative journey. The creative journey doesn't have to be a lonely, solitary struggle. It can be supported by the right type of accountability that honors your process rather than forcing you into a rigid structure. And it can be the difference between an abandoned project and actually finishing a masterpiece. Your art matters way too much to let it stay trapped inside you. And whether we end up working together or not, I think that you need to find the right level of support and accountability, both internally for yourself and externally with those around you supporting you, so that you can figure out new ways to move forward and what that right framework of support looks like. As a creative guide, I've worked with writers, musicians, photographers, artists, and once they have found that connection and support and that right framework, they've just started to thrive and find new ways of expressing themselves and completing their work. Sign up for my Space for Creativity starter kit. There's a link in the description below and in the pinned comment. And that includes a digital detox video and workbook to help you create some space and time to get away from your phone, to have more headspace for your creativity. Also, there's a link there to my website for my guidance services. If anything you've heard here that sparks an idea, take a look at that and see if there's a way in which I can help you. Also, YouTube will recommend the next video for you here. But don't forget that your art and you as a creative deserve the support that you need to make it work and to make it worthwhile. Okay, have a good day.